Hello, good morning Year 11. So today we're going to have a look at factorising quadratics. In order to do that, first of all, we want you to think about a few number puzzles. So can you think of two numbers that multiply to give you 24 and that add up to make 10? So we're going to need to use this skill when we are factorising quadratics. Pause the video and have a little think. Okay, so if you're still a little bit stuck with this, I'm going to give you a little handy tip, and that is to write out all of the factors of 24. So if I think about my factors, always start with number 1. So we've got 1 times by 24, 2 times by 12, 3 times by 8, 4 times by 6, 5 doesn't go into 24, and if I write out 6, I've already got that written here, so I don't need to go any further. So those are all of my factors of 24 just there. Now, which of these factors add up to give me 10? If I have a look at the first set, 1 add on 24, that gives me 25, so it's not those. 2 add on 12, that gives me 14, so it's not those. 3 add on 8, that gives me 11, so it's not those. 4 and 6, well, let's have a look. So 4 times by 6 gives me 24, brilliant. And 4 plus 6 gives me 10. Great, so those are the sets of numbers that I'm going to choose. And I'm going to show you how that would work with factorising. So here's a question that you might see being given to do. The command word here is factorise. That means that we're going to put in brackets. In this case, we will have 2 sets of brackets. So that's the meaning of the word factorise. So I'm going to start off by writing out my 2 sets of brackets. Now, if we think about this, because what we're doing is unpicking and reversing what we did yesterday, I need to think of what multiplies to give me x squared. Well, if I think about the brackets that I had to get x squared, I must have had an x in one and an x in the other. And now this is where we're going to use the previous part. 2 numbers that multiply to give me 24, but numbers that add up to give me 10. We saw in the previous part of the video that that was the number 4 and the number 6. So let's have a look and see if this works. So if I did x times by positive 4, I'd get a positive 4x. If I did x times by 6, I'd have a positive 6x. And if I did 4 times by 6, both positive, then I'd get plus 24. Writing those out would give me x squared plus 10x plus 24. Is that the same as what we've got at the top here? Yes, it is. So that means that in the brackets, I should have a positive 4 and a positive 6. Don't worry if that seems quite confusing, I'm going to do another example. So here is that second example. Factorise x squared plus 10x plus 16. So I need to think of 2 numbers which multiply to give me 16. So that number times by that number equals 16. And those same 2 numbers need to add up to give me 10. So let's write out the factors of 16. I've got 1 times by 16, 2 times by 8, 3 doesn't go into it, so we'll ignore that, and then we've got 4 times by 4. I'm repeating myself at this point, so I don't need to do anything else. Now, 1 plus 16, that equals 17, so it's not that set. Let's look at 2 and 8. If I put that 2 times by 8 equals 16, but 2 plus 8, does that give me 10? Well, let's check. So 2 times by 8 is 16, 2 plus 8 does equal 10, so those are going to be my numbers, 2 and 8. So if I want to factorise them, it will be a positive 2 and a positive 8. And that's it, that's the question finished. You've done what it's asked you to do. You have factorised, you have put it into brackets, and that would be your final answer for the question. So let's do another question. Here I'm going to ask you to factorise x squared plus 7x plus 10. So let's begin with looking at those factors again. So I need two numbers which multiply to give me 10 and two numbers which add to give me 7. So a number multiplied by another number equals 10, and those same two numbers should add up to give me 7. So thinking about the factors of 10, I've got 1 times by 10, 2 times by 5, 3 doesn't go into it, 4 doesn't go into it, and then I'm back to 5 again. Okay, so not loads of factors. If I add 1 and 10 together, I'll get 11, so it's not that set. And let's just check the other set. So I've got 2 times by 5, that does give me 10, and 2 plus 5 does give me 7. Excellent. So factorising, I'm going to put in my brackets, so I should have x plus 2 and x plus 5. Okay, have a go at the questions that I've set you in the email now.